Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Sailing Slow Motion. So, in my extreme tired state, I did not make an intro video for the next couple days. And I knew that I was going to combine 5 and 6, but here I am. Please excuse my tiredness in the next clip. I was just waking up.
It is the morning and it's low tide, so we're waiting for the tide to come in. Got Solar Man over there. I'm not sure what his actual name is. And then SpongeBob is just on the other side there. I was talking to him for a little bit. But once the tide comes up, we're gonna get ourselves out of here. This boat right here, SpongeBob, I was just talking to the guy that built it. He said it will rocket along at 17 miles an hour, no problem. He said that it weighs about, listen to this, 125 pounds fully set up. It's crazy. And then he worked with the designer of this rudder. It's a kick-up. But it's like a centerboard, so how it drops down, and then it's got the bungees to kick up if you hit something. Really cool design. He says it's just a wet ride, that's all. But our tide is coming in. Our boat's still high and dry, but won't be long now. There's 4 other boats coming in, and they're probably the last 4 that are gonna make it to the finish, just time-wise. And the race is on now to Flamingo. That's our checkpoint 3. All right, we are leaving checkpoint 2 directly behind me. And we got a very long paddle ahead of us. The winds right now have died down. There's still an incoming tide, but because I was beaten by the wind yesterday trying to leave, I'm willing to risk the tide coming in and see if I can beat that going out. So right now, no wind at all, completely dead. We'll give it a try. So I'm a little nervous because I do have my jib sail up now, and this is where I was able to sail around last night. So I'm hoping that, well, I'm gonna have more visibility, so I should be able to tack when I come around the bend, which I couldn't do before. So it's all a fight, and I am going to push as hard as I can. Okay, we're losing wind in the sail, so I guess that could be good. I tried to move the mainsail from that far position so I could get a tack on my port side, but now the ropes are dangling. The wind would just stop or come from a different direction or do something different, you know, we can make headway. But it's so defeating being out here. I just need to get out. If I can get out of here, then I can sail down to Flamingo. But I couldn't get out yesterday. I can't get out today. The wind's not cooperating. The current's not cooperating. It's just, I just want to get there. I mean, it's a challenge, but come on. Gotta be able to do something. Okay, so I just threw anchor so I could take a break because I'm exhausted. I am nowhere near where I need to be on getting out. I got a long ways to go. I'm just hoping that this wind will stop or shift or do something different than beating us up constantly. Looking at Navionics, we're about a third of the way out. So, I mean, we're doing good, I guess. There's a storm coming. I don't know if it's gonna get here. If it does, then I'm gonna put my cover on and try and just hunker down till it passes. I don't want to be trying to be underway while we're getting lightning strikes and stuff. So, we'll see. Everything's in the future. Right now, we're just going to hydrate and eat. That's our plan. Wanted to get a shot of the mangroves that we're passing by. I don't see any alligators in there, but you never know. Okay, so I don't want to skip out on it too much, but holy smokes, I just got my butt kicked, almost fell in the water. Should have had the camera rolling for that one. So I can see the exit is right there, but I couldn't get power to get over there. So I was like, well, I'll throw the sails up and I'll put a reef in just in case it's gross out there. Well, when I was trying to do that, the mainsail got all tangled, everything got tangled, and this is just a massive cluster here. But I didn't want to not show it just because I don't want you to think everything goes super nice and smooth, because it sure doesn't. A lot of times just getting beat up. So there's already waves here and we're still a good mile at least, but I can tack my way through, I think, and get us out of there. Once we're out of the channel, then we're good. Let me just point south. Just ran aground on some coral. We gotta hop out and get us off of this real quick. Good thing I put that keel guard on. Oh man, we got on it hard too. Holy cow, that was rough. So I've never tacked well outside of the boat. I had to get the sail over onto that side to pull. On that chart, we weren't, I mean, it shows that there's a level change, but it's showing 2 foot right there. And we are at high tide, so we shouldn't have hit anything, but we did. So anyway, we still got a little bit of tacking to do before we're out of here. I know that things aren't going to stay the way they are, but if they did, oh my gosh, this is ideal. We are going 4 knots, which, well, ideal would be a little bit faster, but we're going 4 knots in a sea state that is relatively calm. We are on a tack that is riding the Navionic's line, which is amazing. We have not done this like since we left Fort DeSoto. We've been tacking the whole time. It's been crazy. So, but right now we are riding the Navionics line, and we should be able to do that all the way until, if everything stayed the same, till we rounded the point to head over to the Flamingo, which is like 40 miles away, or yeah, probably that. So just wanted to come in and say I'm not really going to film much because there's nothing going on. All I'm doing is staying on the line on the screen and just enjoying the ride. Here, spin you around and show you. Pretty nice. So we're having a wind shift, which is amazing. It's shifting west and almost north, but it's causing the sea state to change because we're going from beating into the waves. Now they're coming like across and the waves are going nuts. But I got the jib opened up to catch that wind, but I got to keep the main kind of tight still because that bouncing was really, I felt like it was going to tear the boat apart. So what I have it set now is about the most comfortable level of destruction I can handle. So, but I really feel like soon I'll be able to sheet out the main and catch some more wind and go a little bit faster. So we're about out of wind as the sun's going down, which seems to happen. But I wanted to sheet out the boom a little more, and it was just getting beat up. So every time the wave would bounce the boat, the boom would lift up and then slam down. It was really loud. So I took the yellow line and wrapped it around the cleat and then down to an islet, and then back to me. So now I'm holding it, and that has silenced the madness. So now we're just cruising along slowly at 2.5 knots, and this is all gonna die out eventually, but just trying to squeeze out the last little bit of speed that we can get. Okay, the sun is setting on day 5, but our day is far from over. We still have 40 miles to go, so it's gonna be a long one for sure. So I'm hoping that the calm, the lull doesn't last too long. And the reason why I decided to paddle is because there's nothing for reference out here. So middle of nowhere, I got my compass, obviously that's my reference point. But what I want to do is just continue in a general direction. I don't want to stop my momentum and then go to pick up and try and remember, because my brain is pretty tired. So I just want to maintain the course I'm on, which is easy, it's just south. On my compass isn't pointing the true heading because of how much electronics I have in my dash, but I know what the deviation is on it. So, but anyway, have the needle red on 180, and that's what I'm doing, and that's keeping me right on line with Navionics. So I'm just trying to stay above 1.5 knots, so my Navionics line stays pointed, and keep it going. So we'll see what happens. I'll show you the sunset, and then I'll turn this off, and then I'll turn you back on either in the morning or when we get to Flamingo. See you tomorrow. I just had a huge shark swim by. It was like 8 foot long. It was a monster. That thing was so cool. Yeah, I heard a splash. I was like, oh no, I hope I didn't catch a crab pot. And I grabbed the light because I could hear like the wake back there. I grabbed the light and shone it in the water, and it was a huge shark. That was really cool. Wow. We've gotten ourselves into a storm here, and I reefed the jib all the way down. I can't get out to do the main, but I can just sheet it out and try and stay pointed into the winds. But it's raining and it's not horrible out, but I can't steer at all where I want to go. It's just kind of whipping around. So we're just going to be stuck out here for a little bit, I think. Alright, it was getting bad, so I got the double reef in on the main too, so that's all we got up. Now we're just getting tossed around. Okay, I know you can't see me, but I got the boat kind of hove to. Right now the main is sheeted all the way to the right, and I'm putting in left input and on the rudder tiller, and we're just kind of stopped. There's lightning and stuff, so we just got to ride it out. That's what we got to do. Okay, so that was a pretty wild ride. We survived it though. The storm has passed. So now we just got to make our way into Flamingo, which is still pretty far away. And the winds are going to be light and variable, they said, from the south, and we're still trying to go south. So the same problem we've had for the past 5 days, going on 6 days. So short. I'm not going to do much. I'm going to paddle over here to Flamingo, which will take me probably the entire day, 12 hours. Hopefully I get there before the sun's just coming up. I want to get there before the sun goes down. It's a long ways, there's no wind, and then I got to reassess my available energy and what the weather is for tomorrow and the next day, because what I heard on the radio was that there's no winds again. So if there's no winds, I don't know how I'm going to get across Florida Bay. We'll figure it all out as it comes, I guess. Okay, so we have enough wind now to run us at 1.5 knots by itself, and then with paddle I can get 1.9 to 2. So my paddling isn't helping out a whole bunch. But I got sunshade up, block that sun because it's pretty bright this morning. But it is currently 8 o'clock. We have 19.5 miles to go. I'm hoping to get there by 10 o'clock tonight. They're not calling for any winds today on the Weather Channel. They said southeast at 5, but they said like light and variable or something, but at 5 knots. So we'll see. There are some more big storms coming, maybe they'll bring some heavy winds that we can navigate with. The one this morning we couldn't navigate with. That was just swirling all over the place and beating us up. But hopefully we don't experience that one again. But today, we're just gonna press. Okay, so we did the same thing where we ran a preventer line to the boom right there. And that gives us a nice reach angle. And we're headed to that point up there. That's 4 miles away. And after that, we'll have 12 miles left. 14 miles left, sorry. And that's 14 miles to checkpoint 3. And then we still got another like 60 to go to Key Largo. So, but either way, we're getting pretty darn close. All right, we are 9.3 miles away and it is 11:30 a.m. So we should be okay to make it there. High tide's at like 1 or 1:30, something like that. We won't get, I don't think we'll get there at high tide, but we should get there like at the slack. So we should be pretty safe. We just need to just cruise on down there. We got actually favorable winds for about the first time on this whole trip. So hopefully they push us right along and get us down in there. This run up the bay has been about the most pleasant sailing we've had on the whole trip. It is just smooth. We're going 5 knots, winds directly behind us, the seas are calm. It is very peaceful and relaxing. I really needed this. My drive on this race, it was really going downhill pretty quick after that storm and getting spun around, and there was just a lot that wasn't going in our favor earlier today. Plus, we've been going for 25 hours now on this run. So I wasn't feeling real good, but it's all coming back. We're about to pull in here, get our checkpoint 3 done, and then get refreshed. And then next stop is the finish line. That's crazy. Everglades challenge, and we will be pushing towards the finish with enough time to actually finish. That's wild, but pretty excited. All right, we are entering into the marina. Never been here before. I don't really know where to go. I think I'm just going to the left. Oh yeah, I see a boat right there. So, I guess I'll just tie up along the dock somewhere over there. All right, here we are at checkpoint 3. Give you a nice visual. Looks like we were supposed to park over there, but came in over here. The sign-in box is over on that side. It's a nice spot. I'm gonna go see if they got a shower house because I smell horrible. It's so gross, and I don't want to do the finish tomorrow smelling like this. I want to be able to shake people's hands at least. And they're hot and fresh. They had hot dogs, they had 2 left, so this is what I'm gonna treat myself with before I get back on my boat. They're just gas station hot dogs, but it'll be a treat. So this channel's really narrow. As they were coming out, they hugged the right-hand side and they got stuck. So this channel is pretty tight all the way out, and then all the bay, I don't know if you can see the color changes there, but it's very sandy pretty much everywhere. So you gotta be really careful coming out of here and really follow your maps. We have a long ways to go. The plan is to just head south out of here and go all the way down to the intercoastal, which is a long ways, and the wind is kind of favorable, kind of not. So we'll see when we get out there. I'm gonna start with my mainsail up, so when I round the corner, it'll already be catching, and then I'll just adjust it for the angle. Then hopefully we can rock it out of the channel. We will see. Either that or we're going to get shoved into the sandbar. One of those 2 things will happen. So let's get this party started. I'm nervous. Okay, we are coming out of Flamingo, and I have decided not to do the shortcut because the high tides don't line up very well. The next high tide isn't until 1 p.m., so I don't want to go out there and get stuck and have to wait a full day before I can move again. I've heard of other people doing that. So we'll take the extra 20 miles and go around that's just what we have to do. So, well, we've made it out of the channel and we've turned like to head back out into the Gulf of Mexico, and we're getting really nice wide tacks, so we should make it out pretty easily. That's impressive. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. The sun is getting ready to set. I'll show you in a second. But I was thinking, man, that's gonna be a pretty sunset where the clouds are and everything. And I was like, man, that could be the last sunset on the Everglades Challenge. And then I was thinking, realistically, it could be, but it's not necessarily gonna be the last one. So we have 54 miles that we gotta do, and it's in the intercoastal, which is gonna be a lot of work, a whole lot of work. So we'll see how quickly we can do that. It all depends on wind direction, really. So this could be the last sunset, but it also could not be. But it's gonna be pretty, and it lights up all the colors. I'll show you here in a second. Look at that sun setting. Woo, it's gonna be a nice night. It's supposed to be clear, so we'll have stars. It's supposed to be a little cool, so I have to bundle up a little bit. But I was trying to tack, and I'm having some issues, and I think I might have water in this ama, so I'm gonna check that real quick. I don't want to see my nasty feet here. Right, a little bit of water, not a lot. Go ahead and pump that out real quick. Earlier I was bringing the sail up and it got caught on the handle that I just connected the camera to. And when it came off, when the sail lifted off, the camera wasn't there. Oh my gosh, I had a panic attack. That was today. It's like I lost all that. The whole Everglades Challenge gone. But luckily it was on the charger. All right, well, the rope's out from underneath me. Time to sail. With the setting sun, these wisps right here are really cool. It's almost like there's a vortex out there. It's just like the outer bands being thrown at us. Really pretty. Now it's got the cool colors. I'm paddling through the Everglades National Park down here in Florida Bay, and the stars are insane. I just turned my nav lights off because, well, there's nobody out here, and turn my nav lights off just to see the stars, and it's crazy how many stars are up there. And listening to the alligators grunting, and then these little tiny fish jump out of the water a lot, and all kinds of sounds, and it's just really cool out here. It's like just an awesome experience. If you ever get the chance to go out into the Everglades and sit in a canoe, kayak, trimaran, something all by yourself and be that vulnerable, it is so cool. And the view cannot be beat. It is amazing. So that's just where my mind's at right now. We're pressing on. We got zero wind. It is completely stalled. And we still got another about 10 miles to get out of the bay. So I'm paddling real slow. I'm kind of thinking it's pointless because we'll get out at, 2 or 3 in the morning, which that's just a lot of paddling. And that's not even good math. What time is it? It's 8:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Oh my gosh. Yeah, at 1 mile an hour. So I think it's best just to anchor and wait for wind. But right now I'm in a channel. I got channel markers, a green and a red one, that are pinging, so I need to get out of the channel. Something just bumped the boat. I just felt the vibration. But, all right, well, I'm going to try and paddle out of here and then see about dropping anchor and crashing out for a couple hours. I'm pretty tired. Real quick, without looking it up, I don't have any service out here, so I'm just going to ask you. I'm sure I'll look it up later, but does anybody know why it gets dead calm at night, like right when the sun goes down? Is it thermodynamics or something? Like what causes, because it happened every single night out here, that you'd be sailing along and then the sun would set and then flat calm, nothing. So, or even just before the sun would set. So we're in that spot right now where it's just down here in the Everglades, it's like a very humid and sticky, stagnant air. And there's big things that roll around in the water out here. You know, the pythons and the alligators and all the other cool things. But, oh, and the crocodiles. They had crocodiles at the Marina. There's 2 of them that swim in there. All I saw was their little snouts, but it was pretty cool. The only place in the world that alligators and crocodiles live together, right here. So. All right, well, I'm gonna get the paddling again. So we're sitting anchored in the channel. There's nobody around, so it's not like we're blocking traffic or anything, but we are in a channel. But the current was too strong and the wind died and we weren't able to tack out. We're right at the mouth, like within, a mile of it, at least. And so we're just sitting and waiting, and it's cold, so I put my rain gear on and then got my whoopee and wrapped myself up in it. So it was hot, like blazing hot just like 2 hours ago, and now it's cold. So that's the way it works. So we're waiting, and then hopefully we get freed up once some wind starts blowing, and hopefully that happens.